three most underrated quarterbacks for this upcoming NFL season are Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, and Baker Mayfield. And I'll give you reasoning behind that. So, my most underrated quarterback for this upcoming NFL season is Jared Goff. And I say this because I feel like Ben Johnson, when he was there as the offensive coordinator in Detroit, was so beneficial for that Lions offense that Jared Goff was like in the MVP race. Like, he was so good. And then when Ben Johnson left last year, they had major growing pains. And I felt like they took Jared Goff for granted because he was still good. And I felt like people's expectations of him under a new offensive scheme were a little too high, and I get that that offense was super overpowered with Ben Johnson, but we saw what he did with Caleb Williams in Chicago, and it was insane. Like, Caleb Williams became so much better. That team was more disciplined. And so I feel like Jared Goff didn't get the benefit of the doubt with the new offensive coordinator. And I feel like this year he'll really prove that with this new offensive coordinator yet again. But I do have hope for this one that it's just going to be better. Things are going to click. Like, I just think he's underrated in the sense of he doesn't have Ben Johnson anymore, and so he needs to step it up, but I also feel like people are overestimating like his ability, if that makes sense. Um my second quarterback is um Brock Purdy, and I say this because his team has been absolutely decimated with injury for the past ever. And he was Mr. Irrelevant in his draft class, so he wasn't necessarily a top pick. When he came in for Jimmy Garoppolo that year, I feel like his expectations rose significantly by the end of that year. And then in year two, I felt like they were a little big. And so I feel like, kind of like with Jared Goff, I feel like he wasn't really given a fair shot to um, make you reevaluate people's expectations on him. And I feel like this year with Mike Evans and a fully healthy roster, he should do great things. And then my last quarterback is Baker Mayfield. And I feel like Baker is just constantly having to prove people wrong because I still feel like people see the ghost of like Baker in Carolina and Baker in Cleveland, and that's just not the case anymore. He's a much more developed, smart, good football player now with the Buccaneers, and his wide receiver core is amazing with Emeka Ibuka and Chris Godwin. It's a shame Mike Evans had to leave, but I just feel like this team is going to be so strong, and if Bucky Irving can come back, I really feel like they have a really good shot to not only win the South, but go pretty deep in the playoffs. So, yeah, that is my NFL Hot Takes Part 2.